It's that time.
Yes, sir. Come on.
You know what I mean?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Come on.
We talking barbells and brews in here. Every week talking fitness and how to get this favorite beer. They feature a brew every week. On top of that, give you tips on keeping your stomach flat, looking sleek. Chaz and Gene got you covered on both scenes. You'll be curling 16s and mastering your cleans. You ain't gotta listen to no one else. They mix fun with education to better yourself. What more could you ask for? Hit subscribe if you wanna keep your lifting and drink game live. Your workout lacking, your diet need help. With Barbells and Brews, leave your worries on the shelf, yo. It's Barbells and Brews. Yeah, it's Barbells and Brews, yo. It's Barbells and Brews. Yeah, with Chaz and Gene, you can't lose. Come on.
Yo, what's up? And in the great words of Harry Carey, we're back. You know that one?
I know it. It's
You
just
don't
a little.
know.
Yes, I do too.
You have no idea. Who's Harry Carey?
I know. Oh, I thought you said Harry Callis.
No, Harry Carey.
Nope, don't have a clue.
He's the Harry Callis of the Chicago Cubs.
Okay,
So you were on the right
Cool.
track.
that's why I didn't know.
So listen, you probably know already. This is Gene Volpe with Barbells and Brews, back with my buddy Chaz.
What did we
I
decide
don't
on last
know.
week?
What's the name of this?
I have no idea.
Chaz.
I'll leave it up to you.
Dembrowski. Yeah, that's it. Right? Dembrowski. All right.
The completely wrong nationality to be saying that last name.
Why? What did I do?
It was like Italian, right?
Don't make this racist.
Listen, I'm not
Right,
taking
right out
anywhere
of the
you
gate,
don't want to
you're
go.
calling me a dago. I can't even believe it. Is that right? That's whack. That's whack, Holmes. I thought we were tight. So I'm excited about today. You know why?
Why?
Tell me. Why do you think? Why do you think? I'm going to let you guess. Why do you think I'm excited about today?
Because you get to be the creator of all things destructiveness with me and my wife.
To you and your wife. So I'm going to let you do the honors to introduce your wife. But first, why don't we tell them why we're here? We got to remind everybody why we're here. Why do we do this? Let's go.
We work out so we can drink the beers.
We work out so we can drink the beers. And today we have... So I went in today, Cinco de Mayo. So who gave us this recommendation?
So Amy Plord gave us a recommendation for a couple of good cervezas.
She reached
to
out
drink.
to us on the gram,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
Which I thought was great. She said she's listening to it. She liked the interview last week with Strozal, which was great. And she said, being that Cinco de Mayo is coming up, we should drink some Mexican beer, otherwise known as cerveza, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I walked into today to the beer yard in Wayne or wherever that place is at. And the guy goes, "Can I help you with something?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm looking for some cerveza." And he went, "You mean you're looking for beer?" And I went, "Well, yeah, but Mexican beer."
Did you say it just like that?
Yeah. But
of course.
I thought, well, I guess cerveza means beer in Mexican, but I thought he would know.
Yeah, well, that's like a total American thing to say.
It was,
Like,
right?
yeah, did you not know that cerveza meant beer?
I mean, I did, but I also thought when I asked for it that way,
You just assumed that he would think that you were looking for Mexican beer.
yeah, like if I asked you
Sure,
for
yeah.
a piñata, would you say, "Are you looking for a stuffed animal?"
Okay, that's
No.
completely different
No, it's
things.
not. No, there's good juiciness inside the piñata, whereas a stuffed animal. All right, never mind. So anyway, we are back and sponsored by our sponsor, Tavor.
Yep.
So real quick, let's get this out of the way, and then we're off to the races. Tell them what Tavor is, sir.
So it's is it Tavor or Tavor? Do we know?
I don't know.
I think it's Tavor. So
You
Tavor
call it
is
Tavor, I'll call it Tavor.
There you go. It's our mobile app that you can buy some micro brews and specialty brews from far away, and these are brews that are extremely limited edition, and it's cool to see what beers are out there that are so specific, and you can buy them, and every month they send out a box full of the beer that you can buy, and the cool thing is you can just kind of choose your own. So you can choose 1 or 2 or 6 or however many you want, and they send the box per month.
And so if you are listening to this and you download the app, use the code Barbells.
Yep.
And they're going to give you $10 off your first $25 purchase. So give them some love. Let them know Barbells and Brews sent you. And order some beers. Let us know. Also, let us know what you ordered and what you thought, and if we should try it ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. Throw the recommendation out.
Absolutely. Like
So-
Amy did. So
Yeah.
thanks, Amy.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm saying thanks now until we drink it. It might suck.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna
no,
say-
I've had this before. It's good.
It's pretty good?
Yeah.
All right, so listen, I'm going to let you do the honors, my friend. So why don't we tell
See,
everybody
you're
who's
already
here today-
starting off strong.
I love it. This is going to be fun. Let's go. Come on.
It's
10 to 1 odds, there's a fight after this.
like a 13.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, go. Who are we dealing with today? Let's go.
So, of a long time, but this is my wife, Kara. We've been married for more than 3 years now, and we've been together for 5, 6, 5-6 years.
Hello, everybody.
She said 3 long years. 3 long years.
I would even say that just because of her marrying me.
Yes.
So,
well, at least you're honest with yourself. That's
Yes.
good.
Listen, if there's one thing about myself, I'm going to admit when I'm not being honest.
All right, so let's talk about this because this is a show about health and fitness and beer.
Yeah.
One of those things Kara likes more than the other.
I
And
lo-
I'm not saying you're a drunkard.
Oh, that's what you think that I like.
Oh, I hope so. You do not like beer?
I actually really do not enjoy beer in the slightest.
This is going to be great.
This is going to be awesome,
I
actually.
do wine. I do rosé specifically.
Okay.
If you get an idea.
I like all the above, but this is a beer show.
Okay.
Hence brews in the Barbells and Brews.
Yes.
And so you have to sort of do what we ask you to.
Absolutely. I'm a team player. I can do
I've
it.
known this about you for a while, and I
Yeah.
will say, if you're listening to this on iTunes, get your asses over to YouTube to watch our facial expressions when we start drinking this cerveza, also known as beer.
This is go-
I don't do beer.
This
so
is gonna be one of the shows that I would actually recommend you watch instead of listen to,
Yeah.
just because of the facial expressions that Kara gives,
Well, why
like
don't
the
we
beer.
start with the facial expressions? Because we talk a lot about resting an active bitch face
Yes,
on this show.
we do.
We've mentioned my wife before. And
We
I
mentioned
said,
it with Chris too. I think that's like a running theme with us.
absolutely. Chris actually has a resting bitch face.
I have one too, but I take issue with the word bitch in there because it already has a negative connotation associated with a female. And of course,
Okay.
my feminist side comes out. That's how God made my face. It's going to sit that way.
Listen, I'm not that easy. This is how God made my face. I'm not okay with it.
No,
I'm not okay with it. But listen, how? Okay, so then let's change what we're talking about here. What would you care to call it? If we don't want to call it resting bitch face, let's call it something else.
It's 2019. I'm a millennial. It's going to have to be resting person face.
oh my.
That's the worst. But
Resting them face.
Yeah, you can't put a gender on.
which pronoun
Yeah.
do we use?
I guess them in this case, because that's all encompassing and
All inclusive.
I have whatever your wife and Chris has
yeah.
for my face.
I like
There
to
you
call
go.
that,
That's a good
listen,
one.
that's 2019. I call that resting bitch face. Actually, I'm going to call it active bitch face. Chris has a resting one. I think you have I've seen you in action before, and you can have an active one.
Yes.
Right? Like my
Yep.
wife's like, does it look like I smell shit? I'm like, oh yeah, it does.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
people are very in tune with the fact that you are unhappy at the moment.
Yeah. I will say, though, I hide it very well during my job every single day, though, and your wife probably understands just
100%.
as well. So,
100%.
Yeah, it's acting, and then you come home, and, you know, I care about my patients, but you come home, and it's just a different...
She's like, I care about my patients, but I don't care about my husband, so
no,
I'm going to
you-
take the
listen,
face
you're
off when I
always,
come
you
home.
always shit on the people that you love the most. That's just the way that it works.
Absolutely.
It's the way that it works. And
Absolutely.
that's your job. I think that's my job is to take the brunt, and I don't do it well all the time. But listen, when you come home, you want to unwind, you want to beat somebody to death, and you happen to be the person that's there. You do it. You know what I mean?
It's love.
Is okay. Is that what that is? Like we need to train our kids a little bit better. But
What do they say? The lines between love and hate are very
Blurred.
blurred, thin, whatever that phrase is.
I think love and hate happen to be the same thing. If I'm being honest with you. Uh-huh.
Yep.
I say that sometimes. I'm like, I hate you, and she's like, what did you say? I'm like, No,
Yep.
I never say that. I'm only kidding. She says that to me all the time, which is I don't blame her for.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the health side of this. Well, let's get into your side of this first.
Okay.
What do you do in life?
For my job.
Oh, okay. I didn't know I had other options.
Oh,
what are
it's all about me.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying okay, let's start with this. No, not your job.
What do I do?
In life, yeah. This is an open-ended question, and you can take this any direction you like. I didn't realize I had an option. I just thought this was going to be work-related. But
Okay.
if you want to take it down another path, go for it.
Well, okay, so fitness-wise, I guess we'll go there.
Okay.
I grew up playing soccer.
You were a good soccer player, if I understand.
I was good.
Tell me what good means.
I went to a Division III school. I was a 4-year starter, and we went to the NCAA tournament twice.
That's pretty solid.
It was kind of cool because if you think about it, still in Division III, you're one of the last 64 teams in the country
Sure.
playing. It was awesome. It was a great experience, and that's where my fitness journey always started. You know, I played since I was 4 years old, and then I wanted to be personal trainer at first. And then I realized there are other ways to make money. And then so I was like, well, let me get into athletic training. If you're familiar with athletic training.
Tell me more. Maybe our listeners are not.
Okay, so athletic training is a 4-year degree you can get from an accredited university, which I don't want to simplify it, but they diagnose. I don't even want to use the word diagnose.
Sports-related injuries?
Sports-related injuries, thank you.
Okay.
Specific to football, gymnastics, any sport. They're seen a lot on the collegiate level. They're the ones that run out onto the field.
Oh, sure.
That tape ankles, get ice, and stuff like that.
Okay. I didn't realize that was the name for it, but yeah, exactly.
Athletic trainers,
sure,
yes.
Sure.
So they have to take their boards. They're smart. They know their orthopedic examinations. It's a great field. I just realized for myself I didn't want to get up at 5 a.m. to tape an ankle. I appreciate what they do. That wasn't for me. So what I realized is that I want to figure out exactly what's wrong with the ankle, not just tape it. So then I was like, well, I'm going to go get my master's. So I have my master's in physician assistant studies, and I work in orthopedics currently.
Your master's, huh?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, there's two things I was thinking while you were talking. One is I was wondering why I was never in an NCAA tournament, and then I realized I had to go to college for that, which I didn't.
That might help.
So that was.
Well, you might have went to one, but just not as a not in actual college. You might have sat in the stands watching them play the sport.
Well, that's true. That part's true. And I did spend some semesters at certain colleges in the city. Those days are hazy, because that time was living out with friends, and I don't necessarily know I got the education I needed. The second thought I had was, much like NASCAR,
it's the second time you brought up NASCAR.
I know. Well,
in
I'll
the
tell you why
podcast.
I'm gonna light a fire real quick. Hold on. So I want to make a statement, and I want your immediate reaction. Much like NASCAR, soccer is not a sport.
Shut the fuck up.
Whoa,
What?
we opened the can. Soccer sucks. Soccer
Why?
is for the Europeans.
No. Tell me why.
Because it sucks. It's for the Europeans. It's slow. Anybody could do it.
It's called the beautiful game for a reason, because when you actually connect passes and get it going, it's a beautiful
I love this
thing.
because I'm not.
Because here's
you're
the
going to make
thing.
me look like
How
the greatest
many-
guy in the world
Love
after
it.
this.
You don't see any fat soccer players. They're all ripped and beautiful.
You don't see any fat Europeans.
Well, right.
Yes, you do.
I mean, that's a whole.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Oh, you're backing her up?
Yes, you do.
Oh, man.
Listen,
You
there's
guys
a
might get
reason why
closer
we've
'cause of
been
this
married for
interview.
3 years.
Wait, here's what I think's funny. I think it's funny that as you and I were having that conversation, she still was going off about.
Oh, yep.
I still want to go on
ahead.
about it.
I want to
Floor
tell you
is yours.
something. I like the World Cup. I like it a lot, and I like it because, okay, I don't like it at all. I think it's stupid, and I think they should wrap it up. What do you think of those thoughts?
I think YouTube needs to see my face for
We used-
my actual reaction.
We used to be friends. I'm actually teasing. I played soccer as a kid. I'm not. It's slow, so if you don't play it, it's kind of hard to watch sometimes. But I do love the World Cup.
I will say this. I do struggle watching men's soccer for the reason that they flop. If you watch college women's soccer, the broken noses, pulled hair, you've seen those YouTube videos.
Yep.
Oh, it's like to me, it's the best sport for women to play.
Yeah.
That's physical. You run.
Better than field hockey or lacrosse or anything like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I know field hockey is a pretty big deal, like around
Field
these
hockey's
parts.
good.
Yeah.
And they blow the whistle a lot.
You're right. My daughter played this year, and
Yes.
for the first 6 games, I had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah.
And it was whistle every 3 seconds. You're right. Yeah, you're right about that. No, I was kidding, of course. For the people that are listening, they're going, oh, my God, he doesn't like soccer. I like soccer. I like all sports. I don't like NASCAR, and NASCAR is not a sport.
Agreed.
You're not hearing anything from me.
Okay, wow. I have
Agreed.
unanimous decisions.
Yes.
Unanimous agreement. So listen, while we're doing this, can you start to do this? Because we're actually 13 minutes into this bad boy
Absolutely.
already.
So, our beer of the show, Gene. You want to talk about it a little bit while I open it up and.
Yeah, so apparently it's a cerveza. Where's my phone?
What's a cerveza?
Apparently it's a cerveza, which means beer in Mexican, I guess. Well, that's all right. I think it might be in the locker room. But what I usually do here, and I'm going to have to lean on you for this, I usually pull up Untapped for a little bit of a review. Am I going to be able to get into that bad boy? Okay. There you go. He's doing it now. Thank you. All right, so let's talk about how this is going to go.
Not well.
You don't think at all?
No.
No? All right, then why don't we do this while he's popping these things open? You have an opener? That might be a problem. We've been drinking cans. What are we going to do? Who's here? Yeah? You do it with your teeth?
Oh my God.
So you can't hear him in the background. We just realized we don't have an opener. He's not on mic, so you can't hear him, but we'll figure it out. So this is Negra Modelo. This is, I'm not going to tell you the rating. We always keep that till the end. It's by Grupo Modelo, a macro brewery in Mexico City, and it's a lager. So it's not too heavy.
So educate me on what a lager is. Maybe our listeners don't know either.
I don't even know how I would explain it. It's kind of middle of the road.
Okay.
It's not dark like a stout or a porter. It's also darker than, like a Saison or a light beer, obviously. So this is like one of those ones where it comes out, it's like a light brown as opposed to yellow.
Okay.
Or like a dark chocolate.
Yeah.
You know Yingling?
Yes.
So this will be a lot like Yingling.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to kill you. You're going to have a funny face.
Absolutely.
Probably when it goes down, but
Yeah.
you'll get over it.
Yeah.
And by the sixth one, you don't realize it anymore, so don't worry.
Oh.
My man, that's a beer drinker right there, or a manly man, I should say. Nice work out of you. All right, so let's dig in further into this because I think, how long you been here at the Paul Bunyan CrossFit / Fitness Center in Newtown Square, which is they've been nice enough to put us up for the last couple episodes. We love it here. How long have you been here?
I've been here for 3.5 years.
So is this where you met Chaz?
No. 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 Chaz and I met in college. We were actually in the same undergraduate degree. We went to a small private school, and there were only 8 of us in the graduating class for our major, exercise science.
Oh, wow, really?
And I was actually dating someone else all through college, and we were really good friends. And long story short, we ended up dating after we graduated while I was in grad school.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So the joke to him and I is that we made it through grad school. And if you know anything about physician assistant school, it's like you don't have a life. I sat in a classroom for 8 hours, 5 days a week.
Okay.
Go home, you study for another 4 hours.
I believe it.
And then you do that week after week, and then you take 2-3 tests a week. And on the weekends, he would come see me in Delaware where my school was at. And I would study all day Saturday, all day Sunday. We would maybe go out for lunch, and I would study. I would get up, I would cry, and he's like, "All right, start studying again." I would go back and I would study again.
It's funny you bring that up because my wife's in the medical field. I
Yes.
feel like anything in the medical field is everybody always puts in a high level medical field, not like. I mean, I'm sure there's certain things where you can go to school and screw around
Right.
for 4 years and still become whatever that is, right? But I know when you get to be like PAs, doctors, all up the ladder, it seems to be that it's very, it's nonstop. Like I remember 6 years of her just being like, "I'm not going to see you for 6 days," and I'm
Yeah.
like, "This is weird to me."
I mean, it's someone's, at the end of the day, it's someone's life that you have in
True.
your hands,
Yeah.
regardless. Just small example, the other day I had a patient come in because I work in orthopedic urgent care, and her calf was super tender, and I sent her to rule out a blood clot, which is a serious condition. You can die from it. And my doc called me a couple days later, and she goes, "Thanks for saving her life." And I was like,
What?
"Oh," she's like, "Yeah, it was pretty serious. Like, thank you." And so it's just like that. Like that's what it is.
Wow,
Like,
that's incredible.
And I'm not trying. It is a very humbling profession, and your wife probably understands as well. Just anything in medicine and whatnot, but it's like that's the reality of it. And so you keep that in mind at all times and stuff. And so,
All right, so now let me ask you this. So I know that a lot of people. Let me see how I can frame this so I don't get anybody in trouble. I know that a lot of people who are very good at their profession, and actually I'll frame it this way. I'm in marketing. I'm very good at marketing other people's business. I'm not always necessarily great at marketing my own, right? So you help the people you're paid to help, but a lot of times you don't take the same advice for yourself. So in the health profession, I find a lot that with people I talk to, they're very good at their job, but if they had to apply the knowledge of what they do to themselves, they would be like a lost puppy. Mm-hmm. You find the same type of thing? Is there ever like an instance where there's something wrong with you and you go, "I don't know what to do"?
Oh,
and
well, I can actually speak to that.
You get okay.
So, yeah.
You know where I'm going with that,
Absolutely.
right? Okay.
So she's the type of woman who you could be feeling some weird pain in your body, right? And it's not a pain to her. Like it's just not like it'll go away pretty much for her. Like literally, like if it's not bleeding or if it's not infected, it's pretty much not a thing for her at all.
Stop bitching.
No, but here's the thing. I feel like this might be like a thing for men, and I it has to be. if I get just like the smallest little pain in my body, it's cancer. It's got to be cancer. It's got to be cancer.
The man cold.
And it's got to.
Is he that the man cold?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like, and unfortunately, I do this a lot, and you might too, or for any men who are married to women who are in the medical field, it could be an itch on my ass, Gene, and I'll be like, is it a cyst? What is it? Can you diagnose? Like, and it was bad for a while. For the first probably like 3 years of our marriage, which has been all of it. It was that until until I realized, you know what, let me stop and actually go to my doctor instead.
See, I'll tell you, I'm the exact opposite of that. And the reason why I'm the opposite of that is not because I'm tough. It's because I'm so concerned that she might say, yeah, you got to go see a doctor for that. So I just ignore everything. Like if I had a boil on the side of my head for no reason, it just came out, I would walk around forever until she went like this. What the fuck is that on your face? Like you have to do. My father trained me that way. Like I remember, you can't see it on video, but I cut my thumb when I was working in this deli one time to the point where I cut all the way through the muscles in my thumb. And when I went to ultimately when I went to the doctor, he said, we have to sew your muscles back together before we stitch you. You might not be able to use that thumb anymore. And I was like, oh, okay. But I remember when I got cut, my father was an EMT with the fire department in Philly. And he would go, put some tape on it. Stop being a bitch and get out, like one of those. And they said to me, we're going to the hospital. And I'm like, and it was literally the hospital was next door to where I worked. And I'm like, take me home to my dad. He'll fix it. Because I knew he wasn't going to send me to the hospital.
Right.
We get there and he's like, let's go. We're going to the hospital. And I was like, oh, shit.
So you know it's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
But I avoid that like the plague, man.
That's what her though too. Like, if she's feeling a specific way about something, I know it's bad. So I know it's like, all right, we got to take care of it.
I know. I run through in my head if I'm feeling this is what'll happen if I go to the doctor. Blah blah blah. I know the scary things to look for. That's what I rule out first.
Got it.
Like that's how my brain works. But kind of getting back to what you were saying, like, do healthcare providers like take care of themselves?
Right.
And what I've realized personally, having been around other providers as well, is that we can't help anyone if we don't take care of ourselves first. So, for example, the one other PA that I work with, she used to take call. And so what taking call means is that if the phone rings from a patient in the practice, you have to answer it.
Okay.
So in a practice, you could have 500 patients plus. What if they all needed something at night? You have to deal with that. That's very stressful.
Cool.
You're sometimes woken up at 3 a.m. to deal with an order in the hospital and whatnot. And she's like, having since not taken call, she's like, at our new job, she's like, I'm a whole new person. She's like, I feel lighter and everything like that. And I think that's what, like in the healthcare field, we all need to do better at. It's because physician suicide is a real thing. Physician burnout is a real thing too.
Physician suicide is a real thing?
Oh, absolutely.
So now that you're saying that, I sort of remember hearing a study where physicians were like second or third in the country in suicide.
They're high.
Yes.
They're very high.
I may have just made that up.
No, you're not. They're very high up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Just knowing myself, I have a lot of anxiety to begin with, and then to purposefully take on someone else's care, that weighs on you. And ask your wife,
Well, I have
and
kids,
stuff
so
like
I get that.
Yes.
Not to the extent. I mean, not to the extent.
I
No,
have two
no.
kids.
But you got it.
Yeah, I
like
do,
you got
I
it.
do.
So it's so there's that in and of itself. And so I think one of the biggest things for me is actually pulling it all back together is fitness. It's a great stress reliever for me. It helps me focus. It helps me take my mind off of things, and that's what I do. Like literally every day, I try and work out every single day.
Yep.
To take care of myself.
I want to pause there for a second, just because I want to get into this first.
Oh, yes.
I think, and I'm not cutting you off because I definitely was going to go down that path before you went it, and I want to really dig into the role health and fitness and here plays into your job and your family life and your marriage and all these other things, right? Because that's kind of what we do. But I want to do this first.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we can kind of enjoy it together and watch and laugh at your face.
Yes.
We're going to laugh at your face.
Yes.
Maybe not. Maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised.
I promise you I won't.
Promise? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do what we normally do. We're gonna
Okay.
salute, cheers to your health and fitness. And if you're at home, we hope you're doing the same thing and sharing a drink with us. So we're gonna let Chaz go ahead and actually let's focus on this first. Go ahead, Karen.
I'm gonna smell it
Gene,
first.
she's not going to like this.
Oh, she's gagging. This is great. She didn't even swallow it yet. She's just smelling it.
You got to take at least one sip.
Ready?
Go. Don't spit it on my laptop. Well, she took a decent sized sip.
Nope.
I implore you all, go to the dry heave is great. Isn't the dry heave great? I'm hoping this camera's still taping.
Oh my God,
right
I tried.
You did try. I give you credit. All right, don't worry. I'll drink that one. It
Okay,
won't go
thank
to
you.
waste. It won't go to waste.
This is great. I love
That
it.
was funny. That was actually pretty funny.
Like,
Um,
I do rosé. This is not rosé.
No, and this definitely has a little bit more of a bite than your traditional lager, right? Because I could tell as soon as you took a sip, you were like, "Uh-oh, she's not gonna like it."
No,
Yeah,
he knows me well enough. So, all right. So then, I like your rating scale.
Okay.
I like so I want to hear like your rating on this.
Can you open that for me while we do this? Don't look at it. Just unlock it for me. I don't want you to look at the rating before you give me a rating. You know what I'm saying? So he's unlocking his phone again for the people that aren't watching on video. We're going to go back to the Untapped app. So we use Untapped along with Tavor, or Taver, whatever you want to call it. But make sure
we
you...
really need to know that.
What's that?
The pronunciation of our sponsor's name.
I think it might be a fun play. We just keep dragging it out.
Eventually, they'll call you.
That'd be great. I hope they're listening.
Yes.
I know they're responding to us on Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, right. I loaded a couple beers into our first crate. I moved the delivery date up to May 15th.
I'm so excited.
That's going to be great.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be really good. So what do you think about this? Give me something here.
So, I don't even know if you would call it a authentic cerveza. I'm good with Corona Lights. I'm good with Modelo, their lighter beer. But I like this most of all between cervezas that I've had.
Really?
Yeah, just because I'm like a darker beer drinker for sure. So I definitely like this now. Comparably speaking to the other ones we've had on the show, I just can't feel good about chalking this up to
To a
those.
9.0, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's certainly a different level, different kind of beer. We really did start the show out with some good beers.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
I don't know. I think here's the thing. I think for a lager it's light, but it's got a tang at the end that isn't apparent in some of these like more high brand. Look at her face. More high branded face.
You still tasted it?
Oh yeah.
High brand like these big beer brands. I'm trying to say.
Right.
So it surprised me a little bit. I'm going to say like a 5.9.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
probably the lowest one so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I would have given it like a 4.9, honestly, if I thought what I was going to get.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're saying a Corona Light is along the lines of a 4.9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this particular case, this one's 5.4% alcohol, and the IBUs on it are 16. So the international bitterness units are lower. So then the rating that you're getting across the board on Tavor is a 3.28.
Untapped.
Yeah, sorry. Freudian slip on our sponsor.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, Untapped is a 3.28, which equates to about a 6.56.
Okay.
So 6.5. You
So
gave
I'm
it a
lower.
5.9. That's perfectly fine. I'm just kind of comparing it to what everybody else is giving it on the app. I think I'm going to enjoy it more as I drink it, but
Yeah.
I digress.
I would
What would be an appropriate time to drink something like this?
That's a great question.
Cinco de
actually.
Mayo.
Well, oh,
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo is a good spot.
Olay.
I think. Don't you think this would be a good barbecue beer? There's a lot ones
That's
that
such a good recommendation.
it would be a good bar. And here's what I was going to actually ask you.
And this is a perfect spring beer because you know why? It's not too warm out yet,
Yep.
and I tend to like lagers when it's colder. Just a darker, thicker beer, you know. I like to
too.
go to the lighter beers and like the IPAs and the fruitier beers in the summer. So I think it's like a really good time to have this type of beer in the spring.
Here's the one thing I wrestled with: lime or no lime. So
Not in this.
no, you don't think so?
No.
I'm thinking I would like it.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you something I learned. There's and now I'm losing the name of what it's called. It's actually a drink that they make. I guess they make it in Mexico, and it's with cerveza. But what they do is they take the glass and they rim it with salt like a margarita,
It's not a margarita.
It is not a
You
margarita.
lost me.
Yeah, it's just
You wouldn't like this, I don't think.
I put sugar on my rim for my margarita.
any
you really?
Gene, any
It's
margarita,
sugar.
dude. Like any margarita,
No, listen,
it's sugar.
I am a margarita guy. I get it.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
no, but sugar on all of them. Not like
sugar.
It doesn't sound right to me, but I would try it.
It doesn't sound right. Okay, I'm sorry. You were talking about your
No,
drink.
listen. We can talk. I keep saying listen too. You got to. We're gonna start doing a charity. Every time I say the word listen,
gotta put
we're gonna
money in a
donate
jar.
money. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
put money in a jar. It'll be
Yep.
$6 million. By the
we'll
time we're
donate
done.
it.
Yeah.
It's just this episode. We should do that. Actually, we should talk about that.
Every
If you have
time
a
we
charity,
curse,
hit us
we
up.
put it in a jar, and then we donate it.
Yes. So, listen. Caught it. I did it again. There you go. She's counting. So what you do is you take the glass, you rim it in salt, you fill the glass with ice, then you take a whole lime and squeeze the whole lime in the bottom, and then pour this in it, and mix it, and so it But think about the whole lime, like a whole lime in it. I feel like that would be crazy.
Yeah.
With the salt, that might work. I would try it.
Listen,
Nah, you're not buying it.
it's not even that I wouldn't buy it. I just associate limes more with lighter beers than anything else.
And that makes sense to me. I get
I
it.
just haven't tried. I also haven't tried it, but then again, associating a lime with a lager just isn't something I've done before, so I'm a little hesitant to do it. But
We may have to try this offline and get back to
yeah,
people.
for sure.
Let's have to see what it plays out. But let's get back to you, because you're really the star of this show.
I am.
You are. You're star of life.
Thank
My
you.
that?
life.
That's, you better.
Oh.
Nicely done, sir. I served it up and you took it.
That was good.
Very well done.
Good.
I would like to talk to you a little bit more about your journey, but I want to say this: over the last 6 months, maybe I want to say, and my timing might be off, but I've noticed you get into a different shape.
What other type of shape
Gene,
have you noticed?
I just want to make a nice little disclaimer here.
Yeah.
I in no way, shape, or form am in this conversation mentioning anything about my wife's shape.
Okay.
I'm distancing myself.
Is it a shape better than round?
Wait. And to counter that, I am talking about your wife's shape.
Please do.
Go to the video again. She's
Let's do
extremely
it.
uncomfortable
Let's
right now.
do it.
No. No, and it's a shape way better than round. You
Okay.
dropped some big LBs.
Yeah.
You got 4 times stronger. I mean, how many times we come in here and I said to you, you're looking good.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I lost a lot of weight over the summer. It's similar to what Chaz's story a little bit, in the sense of I played soccer, run, everything was fine. Got to grad school, gained a little bit of weight, and then when we got married, we were eating like pizza and wings on like every Friday night.
It's easy.
Like reckless abandon.
We didn't
Any
even mention. I didn't
food
even mention that,
all
but
the
yeah,
time.
like
Oh,
even after
constantly.
like I lost the initial poundage
Yeah.
from like after college and stuff like that, like because I had lost weight like while we were dating and stuff like that, and then after we got married, I did tick up a little bit more because we were eating shit, dude. Like we were eating like takeout or delivery like all the time, and
Yeah.
like any
we're
other
like,
marriage
oh, we're
couple.
adults. We can do what we want.
Yeah,
That's
eat
right.
ice cream for
It-
dinner.
yeah,
Yay!
There's
so-
some freedom for that. To that, it's exciting.
Yeah, but
within
Gene, not
reason.
not
It's
after
exciting
like
until you-
months.
No,
Yeah.
I know, because
Yeah.
then you get to be 600 pounds and your blood pressure's 9 million over 60.
Exactly.
5,000. Yeah, I get it.
And so then I started to work with Kristen, our nutritionist here, actually, which shout out to her. Love her. She's awesome. And then I lost a lot of weight over the summer. My job was super stressful that I was at before, and I lost probably about a solid 30 pounds, honestly.
All right, so I'm going to stop you.
Yeah.
Because, and here's why I want to stop you. What do you need? Okay. I want to stop you because, so there's a cycle here that happens. A lot of times when you're in a good space and you're doing the right things by your diet and your fitness, you lose weight and you get thin. The flip side to that is sometimes when your mental health is off and you're stressed, you get thin, regardless of what's happening, right? There was a guy here that years ago was having a tough time, and I remember him getting into the best shape of his life. 70% of it was because he was so stressed he was losing weight. 30% of it was because he went into a hole and decided he was going to be a psycho and lift everything in sight. When we talk about you being stressed at your previous job or previous jobs or whatever it was, what do you attribute the most to your success in feeling better / looking better / getting stronger and getting healthier?
For me personally, it's a combo of when I've been my fittest and I felt the best. I was playing soccer for sure, and I was weightlifting. It was in college.
And you were 10 years younger.
Like 6. Or
Okay. And I wasn't even taking a shot at you there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I wasn't. But we're older.
Yeah. No, it was definitely when I was younger, and we were weightlifting and running a lot, and it was that combo of that strength and cardio that definitely did it. And then more recently now, what I found is I'm actually really into Orange Theory now on top of doing CrossFit.
Yep.
Orange Theory is a ton of cardio. CrossFit, I use it more for the weightlifting now portion of it, but doing that combo of it, I've felt so much better. Like my stomach's flatter, and I just feel like more fit, and I'm able to move around better, honestly.
So let me stop you there for a second, because we do a lot of talking on the show about CrossFit, because that's what we're in the middle of.
Yes.
So explain a little bit to the people that are listening, because I know this show probably comes off sometimes as like CrossFit's the way to do it.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean,
when
let's be honest. Like we've said it before, we don't care where you are, we don't care what you're doing, as long as
just
you're
move.
Right.
Just as long as you're moving, you're exercising consistently, and you're putting in that time to stay healthier. So,
Yep.
Well, tell us a little bit about what Orange Theory is. Like, what is their model?
Their MO is like an hour. Just like you get in, you work out for an hour, and then you're done, and your heart rate is moving your heart rate is being tracked the whole time. So they have these zones: gray, blue, green, orange, and red. Percentages of your heart rate max. If you're in the orange or red, you earn splat points, which basically what that means is if your heart rate is in that zone for a certain period of time, you will burn calories for 24 to 36 hours after
Hence
the
the
fact.
Orange Theory.
Correct.
Love that.
And their thing is to help you live a more vibrant life. It's like you get into it. It's
Dude,
a great.
And not only this, but like that model, if you think about that and you think about like heart rate max training and percentage and stuff like that, I've noticed that it's been extremely successful with people in general, just keeping themselves in a specific number, because you get that data, you get that feedback, you get that number.
Yes. It tracks your heart rate for the whole time, what percentage you were at, how many calories you burned, how many steps you did.
I like that.
Yes, and
I
it's blocks, and everything is regimented. You go in, you start on, at least for the studio that I go to, the treadmill, you start there, and it's like intervals. So 30 seconds of your push pace, which is an uncomfortable pace. And then a minute in your base pace, which is an easy run or jog. They also have options for runners or walkers, or you can row. They have water rowers. And they use weights as well, and they do a lot of core stuff. You get a little bit, but there's not a time where you're standing still. So
Right.
I love it from that aspect, but I miss having a barbell in my hands for sure.
So that's the
Yes.
one big difference is they don't have barbells, but they have
Correct.
dumbbells and stuff.
They have dumbbells, and the dumbbells get pretty heavy. They have up to, I think, 75-pound dumbbells, but everyone's in there using their
Yeah, and I
lighter
think
weights.
you probably would agree with me that 80% of the population doesn't need a barbell.
No.
And they don't
No,
want
no.
it. So that concept of Orange Theory to me, I like it.
Yeah.
I love the branding they do.
Yes.
I'm a marketing guy. I think it's great.
And also from the programming side and the health side, the model is impeccable, to be completely honest, because other than CrossFit's model, when you have something like that gets people in the door with that type of quantifiable data and looking at your heart rate and getting that feedback throughout the entire hour.
Well, let's say this. There's something that has to come along with that. There has to be. Look, the one thing I always loved about this place, and that has nothing to do with Orange Theory, is that the coaching and the knowledge of my body from other people is paramount. So, in other words, it's great that my heart rate's 146. What the fuck does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want somebody there to say to me, here's your best spot. This is where you want to focus. Here's how I know you're losing weight. These are the 3 things you need to really... Because, like, for me, watching my calories is the worst thing that I can do in my entire life. Not from an eating perspective, but from a working out perspective. So I think about 2 French fries equals 97 calories, and I get on that goddamn Airdyne, and I burn my legs out for 97 minutes and burn 4 calories. And I'm like, that wasn't even 1 French fry. Like, that's so counterproductive watching calories, but I always want to know what my heart rate is. That makes sense?
Yeah.
It sounds stupid, but
Yeah, everyone
Is different.
works differently, and
Yeah.
everyone
Right.
processes things
Right.
differently. That's all.
so how do you feel these days?
I feel good.
Because you changed your job
Yeah.
fairly recently,
Yes, I did.
right? How long ago?
I've been there since March 25th, so it's been a little over a month.
Let's go. Well, the honeymoon stage is still there.
Oh, I still love it. I
love
feel very, very supported, but I honestly do. I always have a doctor around. There's always good support staff. It's a great working environment compared to what I was in before. So
Okay.
I love it.
That's great.
Yeah.
So there's so many elements to health and fitness, and it's your work life, your family life.
Right.
When we turn the mics off, we'll talk about Chaz while he's not here,
Of
so we
course,
can
yeah.
figure out how to fix that.
Yes.
I mean, I don't necessarily think there's any remedy for that, but
There's literally
listen, I
no
am
remedy.
no doctor. But
There's no remedy. I'm
There's no
sorry.
remedy.
There's no cure. There's no
I
cure.
think he's doing okay. There's another cookie in the jar. Are you going to open more beer?
Would you like me to?
I would, yeah, because we're on 40 minutes, and I don't see any reason why we're going to stop,
That's fine.
unless you have to go to work.
No,
You sure?
no, I'm working tomorrow, but
Are you really?
yeah, I've had 3 jobs, I guess.
So
you could
here's the
say.
thing, and I want to mention this, and I think it's a good talking point. I would, and yeah, no, I'm confident in this. I would bet any type of money that my wife will always be the hardest working person in any room.
Is your birthday coming up or something?
No,
Is he trying to get a gift?
no, he's just a very smart man.
He is pretty smart. That
And
was
so,
a-
and no, here's the thing. Like, I don't get many platforms. To be honest with you, I don't get many platforms to like prop up my wife because you never really do. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And so, I think that when you hear that she's got 3 jobs and she's got her, and we're going to talk about this too, her own business. And when we talk about the different things that she likes to do and everything else, like I will lay a lot on that statement saying that she normally will be. If you look to anyone in the room, she's usually the person who's working the hardest. Maybe not at that current moment, but just in total,
Yep.
in the long run, she is.
I think Chaz is in love.
Just a little bit, but I'm pretty awesome. So.
It's like I tell my kids, the humility is palpable.
Oh yes, I am so like your wife. Absolutely.
I know it, and I think it would be. I think it's up to this point. It's been a great relationship because you both understand each other, and if it's just don't talk to me right now, nobody gets offended.
Right.
It's just that I'm not in the mood,
Absolutely.
and you get each other. It's kind of funny to watch
Yes.
that dynamic.
Yep. Yep.
But listen, Chaz really just said some nice things about
He-
you. I think he's
yes.
looking to get a little lucky or something this weekend. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe we'll see what happens.
Oh, hey now.
Oh, hey.
Is this a love connection, everybody?
Oh God, it could be.
It could be. You better drink some more beer.
I need my rosé.
You need your rosé. You
Yeah.
got some rosé waiting at home or what?
Oh, we do actually.
Nice.
Last weekend, we bought some cider. That's okay. We should try that one. It's
Tell
a
me.
cider rosé.
Okay.
It's apples, right? Yes.
Who's it made by? Do you know?
Angry
Oh, the
Orchard. That one.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm out.
Don't
Yeah.
diss my beer.
Dude, I'm totally dissing it. It's sort of like it's the soccer of beer for me.
You're killing me. You're really killing me. I call it my juice.
Listen, I hope Heather's not listening to this.
So I want to actually tell a funny story. I want to tell a funny story. So
Go.
we have a mentor, I would say, from college. She was our professor. She's kind of the person we look up to like the most out of pretty much anyone in terms of just like life
When
goals.
you say we're talking about you and your wife.
Yeah, oh,
The two of
absolutely.
yous.
We
Okay,
both
okay.
had her as a professor in college.
Okay.
And so the one time she invites us over for dinner. So we're like pumped. We're super pumped. And she's known to be this wine connoisseur. She's gone to Napa multiple times. She just knows her wine.
Nice.
And so we're like, all right, like, let's go. And before that, Kara's like, well, you need to go to the store and get like a bottle of wine to bring to her. I'm like, all right. She's like, well, get a bottle for me too. So I'm like, all right. And at this point, she wasn't as cultured as she is now. So she's like, I want pink Moscato. And for any of our listeners out there right now, know that this pink Moscato is
It's juice.
barely alcohol.
It's juice.
More so fruit juice in a bottle.
And also it was $4.99.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yep, exactly. So she brings this to our mentor's house.
A
our-
wine connoisseur, nonetheless.
a wine connoisseur,
Right.
and she looks at it, and she goes, "Here, this is what I'm drinking," and I can still picture her face. She goes, "Oh yeah, that's not coming out," and she literally took it, and she took it almost as like it was some infected thing. and walked it back into the wine cooler and didn't even put it in the actual refrigerator. She set it on the side of the refrigerator.
Oh, no.
And
I
then
embarrassed myself that
And then
night.
she opened the refrigerator and grabbed the other wine to serve.
That's actually a pretty good trick if you think about it. If you bring the shit, they'll bring out their good stuff.
Yes.
That's not a bad trick.
That's really not.
That's not a bad trick. So, did you continue to have a relationship with your mentor after that?
Oh, I just talked to her last week.
Oh, okay, good. So she didn't cut you off
absolutely.
completely.
Oh, yeah, no.
Does she feel like you're still drinking rosé, so she obviously hasn't helped you in the wine field.
No.
So we had you back and did a Barbells and Rosé.
Can we please have your wife on and we'll do like a wine and workout?
I don't
Type
know.
thing.
I don't. We can ask her. I will.
Okay.
I'll put the plea in. You make the plea to her.
I will.
You do that. I will tell you that I don't know that the listeners can handle the type of cursing that she'll bring to this show.
I get it. Yeah.
She is foul-mouthed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Thank God she doesn't listen to this. I'd be divorced. All right, so one last thing I want to cover because we believe this. We're 45 minutes into this bad boy.
I believe it.
I do too. I do want to say one other thing because I think this is an important element of. We talked health. We talked business. Actually, don't let me forget about the cookies.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't talk diet. And much like your stance on soccer and 2019 men and women, I think your stance on food sucks as well. And I'd like to talk to you about that.
Well, I think my stance on food is the best ever. So there's that.
And what is your stance on food?
My stance is that, and I will say we try and eat a plant-based diet as much as we possibly can.
Ready? Hold on. For the listeners, I want to give you this. And you can't see it. She just gave me the finger. And of course, I'm teasing her. I wish I was. What's the word I'm looking for? Something enough, like disciplined enough to do something like
Yeah.
that. Because the less meat I eat, the less crap I eat, the better I feel. I get it.
Right.
But it just seems like it's no fun.
So it all kind of ties together too. My family has a terrible history of high cholesterol. I've had high cholesterol since I was 14 years old.
So tell me what that means. What is high cholesterol?
So high cholesterol is a total cholesterol above 200
Okay.
milligrams.
Are
per
you blowing it out of the
deciliter.
water, or are you just slightly?
My most recent blood work I got was 251.
Okay.
And they like you below 200.
Yeah.
My LDLs, which is your bad cholesterol, was also very high.
High. How are your HDLs?
My HDLs
You
were
like what I
very
did? You
good.
didn't even acknowledge that. You like what I did?
Because, yeah, well,
I'm not a health professional. I knew that.
I know, but you so little teaching moment. You want your highs and your lows.
Highs,
so your
highs.
HDL, high
Right.
density lipoprotein, you want that high.
Okay.
And you want it 60 or above to be a negative risk factor for cardiac disease.
Okay.
So, but my LDLs were like 151, which is very high as well. I will say this, after having gone plant-based, the one number that really decreased was my triglycerides. So your triglycerides is your actual fat in your blood, not cholesterol necessarily. And that decreased by more than half.
Okay.
So some of my numbers got better having gone plant-based, but some of it's hereditary. I'm actually seeing a specialist for it.
So you
'cause
can't control that through diet.
I really can't. I've really tried, but I'm taking care of myself and I'm seeking medical help for that.
Which you should. When you get when
Absolutely.
you start to be aware of your stuff. And I listen, if my wife's listening to this, she's rolling her eyes now because I'm the worst, and I hate it. Admittedly, I hate every second of it when I talk about doctors but really, it's like your teeth. I hate the dentist, but when I go every 6 months, they're like, "You're in good shape."
Right.
If I let it go 12 years, what are you gonna have to do? They're gonna rip every tooth out.
I think it's a good thing to at least see from the dietary perspective is that there are a lot of things you can control from what you eat. And that
Yeah.
honestly is the first line of defense in solving any type of health problem that you might have that's very small. But there are things that you just can't control. And for example, like if something runs in your family, you might not be able to control that with diet. And so that's kind of when you need to acknowledge that no matter what you do with the food that you put in the mouth, you're still going to have to find some solution elsewhere for
I
that.
agree with everything you just said, but don't you agree, and I'll ask the medical professional here, that even though you can't control what's hereditary, you can probably exacerbate it by doing the wrong stuff.
Absolutely.
So even though you can't completely control it, you're still doing yourself a service by doing the right things.
Right.
Right? Like, it
Oh,
may never
yeah.
be where it needs to be, but it certainly could be a lot worse.
Oh, right.
If you were eating shit
Yes.
and doing what I do on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And I will be the first to admit, there's no question that of all the things in the world that go on, when my diet's tight, and I know my body, when my diet's tight, everything clicks.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I mean, you feel the same way?
Yes. Yes, definitely. And the other thing, too, is, so I'll put in my little plug for a plant-based diet. So a lot of the dairy products have hormones in them. And actually, my skin has significantly cleared up having gone more plant-based.
Because of the lack of hormones?
Yeah.
Okay. See, to a guy, that means nothing.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, to women, that's all
Big
we
deal.
focus on. Oh, yeah.
Well, even
my
myself,
skin's cleared up. Yeah.
Looking at my decrease in eating animal products, I've noticed less acne. I've noticed less oily skin.
Really?
Absolutely. I mean, when you think about it, and I can't say this for all types of industries, but in order to get the meat bigger and the animals bigger, you're going to have to inject hormones into them. For example, chickens raised for their breast meat are raised in half the time to be double the size.
Yeah.
So that requires some hormonal injection to them.
Get it.
And we'd be ignorant to think that that's not going into our bodies after we chew on it for 10 seconds for food.
Yeah.
But goddamn, that shit tastes good.
It tastes amazing.
It does. It does. It does. Which makes me sad. But on the other hand, factory farming is like really destroying the climate and the earth.
Yeah.
And it's sad, and we're like running into a climate crisis and all this other stuff. So, and it's actually like, yeah, I just, it's, yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to save that one for another episode. 'Cause we could probably bring
Absolutely.
in 4 people and do a
Right.
round table on
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
climate control and what's going on with hormones and all this crazy
Yeah,
stuff. We can
yeah.
really get into that.
Yeah.
And I'm anti that stuff. Like, I won't watch that movie because I want a cheesesteak. Like, I'm not gonna watch the
Oh,
movie.
Well,
because
here's
you're going to
the
be
thing, too.
convicted.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, too, though. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, there's been times where I've craved the biggest steak in the world. Like,
Yeah.
I've failed at trying this plant-based diet, and I've run to whatever fast food place for the biggest, juiciest hamburger in the world. Like, I'm not perfect. I'll probably never
course.
be perfect. So I think in the long run, trying to just make that a little bit better each day or each step is going to be a long way in fixing it.
And I think it's making more conscious decisions in everyday life with stuff like that.
And being aware.
Yes.
Yeah.
I switched, it's my little plug, but I absolutely love it. I switched from bottled shampoo to a shampoo bar, and that takes out, 3 plastic bottles a year? But you think about, if you multiply that across 300 million people in the United States, how much plastic are we saving? And that's my little plug. So.
No, I love that. And I'm
Yeah.
not that dude. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a marketing guy, so I'm convenience over privacy.
Yes.
I'm convenience over everything.
Right.
And so for me, if the bar is less convenient, I'm out. Like, I don't give a shit about 3 bottles. I know I'm an asshole for that. Like, I get it.
At
I
least
get
you
it.
No,
acknowledge
Jen,
I
it.
but
totally
here's the
get
thing,
that.
Gene, you're not, though, because this is kind of what we have to, like, and this is kind of going off the topic, but this is kind of what we have to solve at some point, right? Because convenience is the number one factor for a lot of people, and I'll be the first person to understand that, too, that you want what's convenient to you because you got 30 million other things you got to worry about.
Yeah.
So where your shampoo comes from is probably not your top priority.
Well,
if
you
you're
also
look-
don't have any hair.
I was going to say, if you're looking at me, you damn well know
Yeah.
that my
That's
shampoo
definitely not your top
It was
priority.
not the top priority. But I do wash the beard. I mean, there ain't no little particles in the beard, so I use a little shampoo, but not much. Well, on the convenience note, this is where I think we got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I hate to do it.
No,
because
it's okay. We'll come back another time.
maybe.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, what?
Yes.
Are
I
you
will-
inviting yourself back to this show?
Yes.
All right, I have to abide by that.
All
Okay,
right.
fair enough. Wrap it up for me, Chaz D. Tell them where they can find us. Tell them about our sponsors. Let's cheers to the health. Let's do all this stuff. let's wrap this bad boy up.
Absolutely. So you can find us on all streaming platforms for podcasts, Google Podcasts, iTunes, the Barbells and Brews show. If you can, give us a 5-star rating. If you can't, keep it 4-star. Tell us if you like it. Tell us what we can fix. Recommend some beers. Hit us up on the social media, Facebook and Instagram, the Barbells and Brews show. Send us a message. Send some love. And,
Send a beer description.
Send a beer description.
And by the way, don't give us 4 stars. I'm telling you right now, you come at me with 4 stars, you better be anonymous because I'm coming at your ass.
5
If you
stars
give me
only.
5 stars only. You got to help us.
What do they say? Subscribe, press the like button.
All those things.
All those
things. And find out where Kura. Why do they call you Kura?
That's
funny.
a whole.
Do we have time for
that's a
this?
whole
Oh,
nother-
we gotta
I
do
don't-
this
I
on
don't
the
know
next
if we have
one.
time. We have to do
All
that
right,
That's
That
good
has to be the
because I
next one.
love it. I like it. Hopefully, it's not anything that's not endearing. I like
And here's
it.
the other plug too. Look out for Kura's Cookies, which is their
Oh,
Kara's,
shit, we didn't talk about it. Get it in.
Kara's new business venture coming to a house near you with her line of keto cookies. These cookies are in line with keto protocols in terms of the diet, user friendly in terms of what they have in the ingredients, and definitely delicious. So look out for
So
them.
real quick, do you have a website or anything or a business name? Where can people find it if they're interested?
They can go onto Amazon
Okay.
and look for it that way. It would be under a keto cookie itself. It is the baby stages right now.
Yep, just starting.
And I'm working with my business partner, and we're going to get everything going. But
Well,
keep
so-
an eye out for it.
Shameless plug here for Chaz. You know, if you listen to this episode to this point, that Chaz and Kara are married, and so if you're interested in staying in tune with it, hit us up. We'll tell you when they're released and launched and how you can
Always.
order them.
Absolutely.
So reach out to us.
And if we take off, we will absolutely be a sponsor for this podcast.
Barbells and cookies.
I'm fine with that.
We'll work on the name,
We
but
will
yeah,
work on that
that's fine.
name. Kara, you're the bomb.
I know. Thanks.
Listen, as we always say, cheers to your health and fitness.
Cheers to your health and fitness.
We out.
We're out.